Can we solve for decision making and discovery of stocks? And that remains the key vision behind Lemon.
People have seen Lemon roaming around with Diljit Dosanjh as well.
A lot of users didn't want to risk their money into crypto because it's a new asset class opening in India, right? Every crypto is trying to solve a real world use case. 2020 is where the real evolution of CoinSwitch happened when, RBI ban got reverted and we got the opportunity to launch in India. If you look at security markets, ultimately your net profit or net loss determines what tax you pay. User is trading 200 times a year, almost the entire capital get locked up into TDS. The idea for Lemon is to solve the next step, which is what to invest in, when to invest in, when to double down, when to exit, right?
What are some of the qualities that you appreciate in candidates?
Don't take too much pressure. Don't over prepare. Work on understanding rather than remembering that, oh, these are the 5 formulas I need to, or these are the 5 steps that I need to remember.
Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Growthcast podcast. Today I have with me Ashish sir, who is founder of CoinSwitch and also Lemon application, and he's going to tell us about his entrepreneurial journey. Plus, you will also get some nuggets of wisdom on how to go about your investment journey. Welcome to the show, sir. So thank you so much for taking out time.
No, thanks. Thanks a lot, Shashank. Happy to, speak. Always feel privileged to speak about the journey we had and, what are the future potential for CoinSwitch and Lemon, right? So, and looking
I think
forward to
today
this
is National
conversation.
Startup Day and best day to have this conversation with
Yes.
you. So wanted to understand with you how your entrepreneurial journey started and when you decided that it's high time came a leap of faith like इसको start करो.
Sure, sure. So I think before CoinSwitch, right? I come from a small family in Meerut. Always wanted to build something of my own. I don't remember when, but even in school days, through my father, because he was a self-made man. He's a doctor. He runs his own practice, and obviously very hardworking person. And he's my hero. So that inspiration always remained with me, right? To build something of my own. And through that I don't not know that how it manifested in school days and college, but even if after college I got into Amazon, I did good there, but I always wanted to build something amazing. And then I read Steve Jobs biography, which talked about creating a dent in the universe. And I somehow found that that was the phrase that I was looking for since my entire childhood itself, and that resonated with me a lot. And that is what I wanted to do with my life. That before me and after me, there is change in the world, and can I create that dent myself? And that's how I always wanted to create something big. I started a company back in 2015 after Amazon, which failed, which was into providing fit clothes to women. Started in Bangalore, couldn't scale up that big. Joined back corporate again, and then started CoinSwitch. CoinSwitch journey was very fascinating because we never thought that it would be a startup in itself. So three of us, me, Govind, Vimal, comes from college friends, come from companies like Amazon, Microsoft, leading a lot of their product and tech. But good thing to know, or a key thing to know about us, is that we are all hackers. So we participated in like almost every hackathon in and around Bangalore, and have won almost every hackathon, right? And this idea actually came about in a hackathon. We learned about crypto, started trading crypto, and realized that price of a crypto varies across exchanges. And can we build a hack so that whenever we are trading crypto, we get the best price? So it was never meant for public. It was meant for just three of us to use in our daily trading activities. And that kind of once we realized that it has a huge potential, the problems that we are facing, millions of users are facing as well. That's where we made it public. Within the first 6 months, got millions of dollars in GMV and revenue, and scaled it up from 2017 through a global product. 2020 is where the real evolution of CoinSwitch happened when RBI ban got reverted, and we got the opportunity to launch in India. The idea in India was simple, that crypto was very complex, and it was banned for most of the part. So people had that untapped demand of getting into crypto, knowing what is crypto. And we were using products like Uber, Swiggy at that point, which made our lives simple, right? Just one click, cab is outside. One click, food is at your door, right? So we wanted to make crypto as simple as buying food online or booking a cab. And that's the evolution of crypto or CoinSwitch in India, simplifying crypto for millions and millions of users. It was an instant success in India. Within the first 6 months, got a million plus organic users, which told us, oh, we had something amazing at our hand. Grew that today to about 2 crore plus users, the largest in India, funded by the likes of Anderson Horowitz, Coinbase, Tiger, Ribbit, Paradigm, Sequoia, right? So it's all incidental, but also I feel that since childhood, through what I've seen my father do, how he worked hard, became a self-made man, and that always inspired me to do the same for my career as well. And that's how my journey has been shaped
Very,
up.
very inspirational because my college was also in Muradnagar, which is near Modi Nagar. It's Krishna Institute of Engineering and Technology. And a
Yes.
lot of folks used to come from your school, which is Dewan Public School. So I can highly relate with
Yes.
that. You talked about coins, which you talked about scaling it, but most of the entrepreneurs are find this problem of solving for cold start. So how you solve for it for the cold
Yeah.
start problem? That is it.
Sure. So we had to solve it twice, right? Like I said, in 2017, we were building a global product which helped user get the best price of crypto. Then in 2020, we were not in India till 2020. We got in India in 2020 to make crypto simpler, right? So we had to solve this problem twice. I obviously don't know how every entrepreneur can get the best out of it, but these are the two ways in which I was able to solve in two iterations, right? First, obviously, when we were building crypto was very new thing, 2017 altogether. Not a lot of people would know. So we would find places where people would talk about crypto. So we'll go to, Bitcoin talk, we will go to Reddit, we will join a lot of Facebook groups and kind of self-promote CoinSwitch there. Some people will talk, oh, where can I get this crypto, right? And we will say, oh, you can, get it on CoinSwitch itself. So it's a lot of growth hacking, self-promotion we did. A lot of learnings from there as well. Since we were building a global product earlier, our domain used to be
Right.
coinswitch.in, and we got some comments saying, oh, we can't trust this from India and things like that, and then that's how we got into coinswitch.co. We couldn't afford .com at that point. So I think a lot of learning iterations and a lot of growth hacking at that point we did to launch coinswitch back in 2017. But 2020 story may resonate slightly better with the Indian
Okay.
audience, right? Because for Indian audience, we knew that crypto was new. Uh, Crypto as an investment class is exciting for a lot of users, but a lot of users were afraid to get in
Right.
as well, right? So the idea was that, can we simplify the crypto terminology? Bitcoin is fractional. People may talk about, oh, 0.001 Bitcoin, 0.0001 Bitcoin. But what we changed was, we said that, this communication can happen in INR. Why do I care whether I get 0.0027 Bitcoin or 0.00028 Bitcoin? It is ultimately 100 rupee
Right.
worth of Bitcoin, right? So we changed the narration from getting into partial Bitcoin to INR worth of crypto. So we were the first ones to get into crypto with just rupees 100. Instead of saying, oh, buy this much of Bitcoin, you can buy so small of a Bitcoin. We said, okay, you can buy in the multiples of INR, and any INR you want to invest, come to us and you will be able to invest. Second thing that we solved in Cold Start was that a lot of users didn't want to risk their money into crypto because it's a
Right.
new asset class opening in India, right? That's where one of our referral strategies came very handy. We gave users about $50 of Bitcoin directly in their wallet the moment they sign up. In that case, they were actually invested in the market without actually putting
Right.
their own money. They would come to the app, see Bitcoin growing or going down, learn about it, and then realize that, oh, this could be a good investment for them, and ended up investing in Bitcoin, right? So these two together, simplifying the message and getting users a taste of what crypto was all about very early, helped us gain a lot of traction. Helped us gain a lot of organic growth in the
Got it.
industry.
I think very rightly said. So first you need to simplify your product. Second, you also need to give users some trust, and that trust you provided by getting them also involved in the investment piece.
Yes.
So, sir, I would like to understand more on this part for the audience sake, because half of the people who follow the page, they are also women professionals. Would you like to simplify what basically
Mhm.
is crypto, what is Bitcoin, and what is the
Sure.
technology behind
Sure.
that, so that they can also get an
Sure.
understanding?
Sure. So let me start with blockchain, right? It's a heavy word, but let me just take a simple example to help associate with what problem it is solving and
Sure,
how it is solving it, right? I'll not go into the
sure.
technicalities or math behind all of it, but give you a very simple explanation. So say, today, Shashank and I just met, right? I want to transfer him $100 today. How, we just met, we don't know each other. How do we trust each other that transfer can happen seamlessly? In a physical world, that was very easy. We will meet, we'll see face to face. Anything we want to exchange, we can exchange. He can, see the product that he's getting, and pay me for that. It was very simple. But online, trust becomes the biggest
Right.
hurdle to deal directly with any other user. Say even you're booking a cab. Maybe you'll call a cab driver to come at 8 a.m. at your house, but he doesn't show up, right? That's what Uber came along and said, oh, you can trust us as a third party, and we will make sure that supply and demand is what we will come together to us, and through our technology we will solve
Right.
it for you. So any exchange online, to be honest, is actually dependent on a third
Mm.
party. Whenever you and I are exchanging any information, be it money transfer, be it food delivery, be it even exchanging a water bottle or a sofa selling online, right, like an OLX. So there is a need of a trusted third party who enables these transactions
Right.
to happen. And that's how it's always been online. You always require a bank, a Paytm, a Ola, a Uber, a Swiggy in between to maintain trust between two
Yes.
individuals. Now, through blockchain technology, that was solved using, a code which is a mathematical model that two people can transact with each other without the need of a third party. So, if I want to transfer you something, I don't need to rely on a third party which both of us trust. I can directly transfer you something, and blockchain will ensure that I am transferring a valid product to you. You are receiving a valid product. My balance is getting reduced. I'm not able to sell the same thing to hundreds of people. And ability to verify this transaction is through blockchain, which create records and ensures that any two people can interact with each other in the digital world that we live in without worrying about fraud or reversing transaction or anything, right? That's what a blockchain provides. That was a new technology that evolved out of the financial crisis of 2008, where people lost a lot of money trusting big banks. And this technology helped people directly trust each other, or trust the underlying code of blockchain, to be able to trust each other. Now, where does crypto fit into this ecosystem? Crypto is a tool which enables this transfers. So you can think blockchain as a notebook, but a notebook is of no use if you don't have a pen to write on that notebook.
Right.
Crypto is that pen which exchanges this value creation, which creates these rules and transfer these rules. So crypto is an ability to basically write those rules on blockchain, and ability to transact with two individuals. Now, this could be any type of
Right.
rules. It could be, say you are providing me a service and I am agreeing to pay for you. That is a contract written in crypto working on a blockchain. So this is how simply to put how blockchain crypto ecosystem works. Now, this entire trustless economy can be applied to any system that you see. Even you're booking a cab, you don't need an Uber. A blockchain can verify certain
Right.
set of rules and enables matching between a driver and a user directly. Even if you're transferring money, I don't need a bank in between to be able to verify those transactions, because blockchain can do that. If you're taking a loan from a bank, you don't have to rely on the bank to put certain set of rules and restrictions on you. Those rules can be put directly on blockchain, become auditable, and those rules will be equal for any user applying to the for that loan on that blockchain, right? So this is how blockchain and crypto has been used in revolutionizing the technology industry, where you can build trustless system. Instead of relying on people, you can rely on code, systems, and blockchain to be able to trust each other better in a digital
Got it. Got
ecosystem.
it. And so, do you see this being implemented? So, are banks also implementing it at large scale these days in India and maybe other developed countries?
In India, maybe not so much, but we have seen a lot of adoption on cross-border
Yeah.
payments happening on blockchain, right? Ripple is one example where they have built a technology to enable different banks talking through blockchain and trusting that transaction. To give you a very simple example, remittances have been a big
Okay.
pain point. Why remittance has been a big pain point? Because one bank has to transfer money to another. Now they need to create a secure system to be able to talk to each other so that nobody can fake a transaction, right? To trust each other, they do a lot of back and forth in verifying whether what one bank has said has actually happened on the second
Right.
bank or not. And that is why this transaction, remittance transactions, takes a lot of time and a lot of money to be enabled. Through blockchain, which now can establish trust between two banks, any message put on the blockchain by one bank can be instantly verified by the other bank. So it increases the efficiency, it reduces the time taken and cost in the remittances. And this is just one example, right? Even if you take UPI for that matter, right? UPI for us is very instant. We just scan, pay, and quickly,
Right.
receive and transfer money. But when your transaction fails, it almost takes 7 days to get your
Right.
money back. Why does that happen? Because the reconciliation processes are still manual in the backend. Now, putting those on blockchain could help in real time verifying those transactions and ensuring that any failure can be reconciled in real time, right? So blockchain can bring those efficiencies into the ecosystem. Today, a lot of global banks are using that for remittances and internal audit purposes, and hopefully more and more Indian banks over time would adopt
Got
this
it.
as well.
Now, sir, I'll move to the part which audience will be super interested in, that is investing in crypto. I'll try to draw parallels with the mutual fund industry क्योंकि उससे थोड़ा लोगों को better idea लग जाएगा. So
Yeah,
when people look at mutual fund, they generally look at what are the rolling returns, what has been the return given by this particular fund. So what are some of the key metrics that one should look at while investing into crypto, and what is the best way to invest in crypto? Is there any timing that you should time the market, or it should be
sure,
kind of SIP? Would like your guidance on that.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. I think few fundamentals that to be looked into crypto, right? Think of crypto like a startup ecosystem. Every startup is trying to build something new. If that succeeds, the value of that startups grows because the product that they're building is in high demand,
Right.
right? Some of the startups could fail as well because the problem they're solving, maybe they're not able to solve well enough, or maybe the problem is not big enough, right? So every crypto is trying to solve a real world use case through which, if that use case is big enough demand is there, then it reflects in the value of that crypto, the token of that use case, right? Take Ethereum, for example. Ethereum is like the AWS of the crypto ecosystem. Anyone can launch any product on Ethereum, similar to how you launch product using AWS, right? If more and more use cases come up on Ethereum, the value of Ethereum will rise because there is more demand. Supply is limited, so it will reflect in price. So first thing user have to do looking at crypto investment is also to look at which cryptos they are investing in. What are the use cases that crypto is solving for? And is that use case widely adopted, yet to be adopted? Who are the people behind it? Similar to how you look at a
Right.
startup, right? Who are the people behind it? Who are funding it? What are the use case it is solving, and how big it can be, right? Crypto is still in an early phase, so there are a lot of risk involved in it as well, right? A lot of these startups, like startup risk, right? Hundreds of startups open up, but maybe 5 to 10 succeeds
Right.
ultimately. Similar to that, a lot of cryptos exist in the ecosystem. There are like over 10,000 of crypto because anyone can create a crypto project out there, right? That's where exchanges like us, like CoinSwitch, comes into picture, which validates all these data and only list tokens which have proven to certain
Okay.
extent these use cases, which have a good team behind them, which have a good unit economics behind them, which have a good supply chain mechanism behind them. Only those projects are getting launched or added to CoinSwitch for trading, right? So choosing a right platform becomes equally important. CoinSwitch, obviously, I'm biased, but is one of the the largest platform by data. We have over 2 crore Indians, signed up. Largest in India. We are FIU registered, ISO certified, funded by the likes of Anderson Horowitz, Coinbase, Tiger, Ribbit, Paradigm, Sequoia, like every fintech
Right.
leader in and around the world. And, doing a lot of simplifying a lot of crypto for users. So all the information that I spoke about, you can come to our app, learn, and then invest through CoinSwitch. So that's it would be the easiest way to get
Got
into
it. And
crypto.
sir, is there the concept of SIP similar to mutual fund, or generally you see people who do lump sum buying doing well? So, what kind of investment
Sure,
philosophy
sure,
should one come
sure,
into if they want to
sure,
invest into crypto? What should be the investment
sure,
philosophy behind that?
sure. So, like any other asset class, timing the market is
Right.
impossible for a retail user, right? And how you do investment in mutual funds, that you don't come and just simply invest all lump sum into one. Maybe some days you want to do that to take advantage of the market condition, but most of the times, retail investor would invest in SIP, will average their price. It does
Right.
not matter today is high, tomorrow it would be low as well, right? So similar to that, you can come to CoinSwitch and do SIP on any crypto that you want to buy rather than timing the market. Crypto actually, unlike other asset classes, a lot depends on time as well. So that there are other products that you can take advantage of. Maybe you can do start with SIP, but over time figure out that when it falls, there's something called buy the dip in crypto, which is very famous, right? So whenever crypto falls, because it's so volatile that if it falls, you put more money. When it goes up, you take advantage of it, right? So there are many tools on the app available for the users to help them time the market, but SIP has always remained the best possible way for a newbie to come into this market and start
Got
investing.
it. Got it. So we're talking about that buy on the dip, and whenever the market is up, you will get the advantages. So what are some of the
Hmm.
tax implications of buying crypto? I think थोड़ा सा audience को उसकी भी knowledge हो जाएगी, then it
Sure.
will be really good.
Yes.
Mm.
So, no, very, very valid question, Shashank. And, 2021 is where, we started growth of, we started seeing growth of crypto
Right.
in
Right.
India. And in 2022 is where in the budget, two taxation policies in crypto were introduced. One is a flat taxation of 30%. So any gain that you make in the crypto ecosystem, that is taxed 30% flat. Does not depend on the income tax slab that as a salaried person that or as a business person that you lie in, it is taxed flat 30%, all gains. Second, 1% TDS, which does not impact retail users so much. It impacts, a person who is doing a lot of trades into the ecosystem. What is TDS? TDS is tax deduction at
Right.
source. Whenever user say buys 100 rupee worth of crypto and he say selling it for 200 rupees, 100 rupee profit. So on that 200, 1%, which is 2 rupee, will be deducted and deposited to the
Okay.
government, which you can adjust through your advance tax, or when you're filing the tax, you can adjust that 2 rupee on your income tax. So if you were supposed to pay 10 rupees to government for your entire income tax, you only have to pay now 8, because 2 is already deposited with the government. So that is TDS. So 1% TDS is applicable on all crypto transactions, sell transactions. So if you buy anything, you can keep hold it. There is no TDS applicable on it. But whenever you sell it, the sell amount, 1% of it gets deducted, which will get deposited to the income tax department, which you can claim back when you are filing your taxes.
Got it, got it. So one more question. So like in mutual fund, there are different companies which are combined together. So one can be large cap, mid cap.
Mhm.
Is there a similar concept
Yes.
in crypto also, where you can buy a crypto that has, say, some kind of allocation to different cryptocurrencies, or you have to go with a single currency?
So I multiple currencies or baskets of it work very well when the industries have a defined function. In mutual fund, one would be defense sector, one would be say large cap, top 50, Nifty 50, and that is why fund managers are able to create these baskets and make investments easier for the user. So they doesn't have to worry about diversification. The diversification is done directly by the fund manager. In crypto, that is a very hard problem to solve because uh, it's a very new asset class. Any fund manager with the knowledge of which crypto is going to go up, crypto going to go down, creating that basket is very hard. And maybe some companies have tried and failed at it. So that's why the better way is to look at the crypto portfolio, look at categories. So if you come to CoinSwitch, you will find different categories like large cap, which are proven, which has say over $1 billion market cap that exists, right? So you will see top 10 currencies. You can allocate. So what we tell our users that 80% of it should be allocated towards the large cap or the large cryptos itself. But 20% you can dabble into DeFi, dabble into AI agents, memeverse, which is
Right.
trending now. So that is the right way to pick and choose on what resonates with you more. How do you relate to those use cases more? Mutual fund works very, very well because you don't have to learn the
Right.
underlying, what underlies, and fund manager does that for you. Here, creating a fund manager is very, very difficult because it's a new industry, an evolving industry. So that is why we suggest our users that their 80% of their allocation should restrict to maybe the top five crypto itself, and with 20% they can go explore the themes that they most associate with. What are the trending terms in crypto, and where they can park that
Got it, got
investment.
it. I think then in that case, the platform that you are using, it will play a very important role because that platform and
Yes,
the algorithm
yes,
needs to be super strong. And अच्छी philosophy लगी मेरे को कि basically
yes,
like there are blue chip here. You are telling कि there are 4 or 5 cryptos that definitely have a good strong
yes,
case. So you can go ahead with it. And जैसे वहाँ पे आप small cap के साथ play around करते हो 20%, you can do that here as well.
yes,
So wanted to understand why is crypto
yes.
so big in US and still we are trying to catch up in India. What are some of the differences between that market and our market?
Sure. I think two big differences. First is positive
Right,
regulations, right? When users feel at comfort when they know that ultimately there is a regulator, and anything that goes wrong, the regulator will ensure that user protection is at the utmost
right,
priority, right? So that is where India is lagging today, right? A lot of innovation is coming out of India, but because the regulations are not keeping that pace, a lot of users or creators are going outside and creating those
right,
innovations, right? US has been leading a lot of innovation. Actually, Dubai, Singapore also have been leading a lot of regulation game in crypto and
right.
Web3, where they're able to create environments which are very good for innovators, very clear for innovators on what are the things that they can do, what are the things they cannot do. So it becomes easier for innovators to ultimately launch and build big companies. And that is why you see in US, a lot of crypto companies get originated because regulations help them give
Right.
clarity, and they are able to solve for the users. And users are also more comfortable investing into crypto because they know that there is ultimately a regulator which is looking after their interest, making sure their assets are protected in this entire ecosystem. Second, which is hurting India today, why we are lagging behind US, is
Right.
taxation. Like we talk about 30% flat tax and 1% TDS, right? Now, if say a user make profit in crypto, in one crypto and loss
Hmm.
in another, in India, you cannot offset that loss against that profit. So loss is yours. On profit, you have to pay
Right.
30% tax, right? Now, this is a bit regressive, right? And if you look at security markets, ultimately your net profit or net loss determines what
Right.
tax you pay, which is where we are lagging. And second is TDS. TDS is good for tracking and tracing each and every transaction. But 1% is very, very high. Think of it, if a user is trading 200 times a year, the almost the entire capital get locked up into
Right.
TDS. In security market also, tracking and tracing, there is something called STT, securities tax, right, which is very minimal, which is zero point
Right.
zero 0.01. It doesn't hurt the user and give government enough incentive to know what is happening in the industry and create regulations based on that. So that's our ask as well, that if TDS is reduced and taxation is made more in line with the securities tax in India, you would see a great growth or user interest into this segment. And with powered with the regulation, you would see a lot of innovators coming and building in India for these use cases, right? So I think these two are the fundamental differences between US and India, due to which India is not able to take the forefront or the leap in the
Got
Web3
it. Yeah, I
ecosystem.
completely agree, sir. Because I also interact with my friends in US, so their portfolio allocation is some part of it is in ETF, some part is in crypto, and then some
Mm.
part is in say stable assets such as 401k. But here we mostly
Mm.
rely on mutual funds and other That is why थोड़ा सा
Yes.
risky हो जाता है. But I would like to finally understand on the crypto piece that how does a player like you make
Mhm.
money? Like in mutual funds, there are direct and regular
Sure.
funds where people take some commission for managing those funds. But
Mhm.
here, how does a platform like yours make money? Mhm.
I think for brokers, the revenue stream has always been streamlined. It is based on
Right,
commission, right? So any trade that happens on our ecosystem, we earn a very small percentage on that,
right,
right? Obviously, our fees are competitive, one of the best in the industry, ensuring user safety while also ensuring that we provide safe and secure services to our users, right? So that is how every broker earn in this
got
ecosystem.
it, got it. So it's kind of a discount brokerage model. If I can draw parallels, kind of
Yes,
like of zero.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, sir,
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
from one asset class to another. So what was the idea behind Lemon, and what is one problem that you are trying to solve for through this application?
So I'll take a step back and reflect on my journey and why solve for both crypto and stocks or
Yeah,
mutual fund, which are highly regulated, and crypto, which is highly unregulated, right? So the idea is we come from middle class families. The life that we have grown up with, paying school fees, college fees was a struggle at times, and if people didn't help us at those times, we wouldn't be sitting here today, right? Over time, we realized that if our parents or us had the knowledge of how do we grow our
right.
money, say the opportunities which the HNI has today in India, can that be translated into each individual? Can an app exist which can help user along the journey, a complicated journey of finance, make it fun and relatable, and give the same opportunities to them to grow their money, right? That was the initial hypothesis that we started our
Mm,
journey with. We came along crypto because we knew crypto well enough and it was underserved in India. That's why we got into crypto and solved for CoinSwitch first. But our target was always to solve
right.
for both. To be the wealth tech app for India, solving for all asset classes. So as the user, you can come invest into crypto, stocks, mutual fund, anything that you want to, with the right set of initiatives, with the right set of information, with the right set of direction given to
Right.
the user. Now, why launch Lemon? The idea behind Lemon is that stock investment has always been driven through FOMO in India. One of your friend would invest into a stock, you'll feel like यार उसका पैसा बढ़ जाएगा, मेरा इतना ही रह
Maybe,
जाएगा, मैं भी वही
हाँ,
स्टॉक
right.
खरीद लेता हूँ, राइट? किसी चाचा ने बता दिया, किसी बुआ की एडवाइस ले ली स्टॉक खरीदने में. That's how early India used to invest. And after COVID, we have seen a lot of users coming into the stock market, right? And we have gotten over, a lot, crores of users coming in the last 4 years itself. But a lot of users are leaving the stock market as well because they do not ultimately understand what is a good investment, what is a bad investment, how do they double down, when do they buy, when do they sell, when do they book profit, and when do they double down on a stock. So a lot of research is still, not people are not aware of, and that's where the idea of Lemon comes in. The idea is to provide a refreshing view into stock market investment, help user with analyst rating, with recommendations, helping them understand the basics well enough and ability to guide them that, oh, these are the four stocks which are good. So many analysts are rating this buy because of these reasons. This is the potential upside in the stock, and can they take those suggestions, learn from those suggestions, and make the journey better for them, rather than depending on mama chachas and those, तो उन पे भी आप depend करिए, but उस research को भी you can validate on CoinSwitch. With enough data, you can know whether what they are suggesting is right for you, right for your portfolio or not, right? So Lemon is built to solve the next step of financial problem in India. Earlier, it used to be access, but platforms have been digital for a while now. It's very easy to do 5-minute KYC and start trading. Now the idea for Lemon is to solve the next step, which is what to invest in, when
Right.
to invest in, when to double down, when to exit, right? Can we solve for decision making and discovery of stocks? And that remains the key vision behind Lemon, right? And that's the reason we launched Lemon almost 9 months ago. I've seen amazing growth so far.
Yeah, I think people have seen Lemon roaming around with Diljit Dosanjh as well. So that campaign became really famous. But sir, you have been a long time investor,
Yes.
and there are many people who are watching this episode would like to start on their investment journey. What has been your learning or your principles that you follow while making your investment so that audience
Sure.
can learn from it?
So, early in my life, didn't had a lot of money to invest, right? We would do tax saving to start with, right? And I think that's how in India, a lot of users get into the
Right.
investment ecosystem. Everyone knows about PPF, everyone knows about, NPS schemes. I got introduced to mutual funds. Oh, can I invest into ELSS and get better returns than PPF and still get familiar with what mutual
Right.
funds are, right? Today's in my generation it used to be, or I'm still young, but when I started it used to be mutual fund, then you get into stocks and then into crypto. Current investment life cycle, what is happening is that people in early ages are taking
Right.
higher risk. They're getting today 60% of our crypto investors have never invested into stock or a mutual fund, right? Crypto has been their first ever investment class. And that is where the profiles are changing. People are looking after risky asset first because they believe that taking higher risk early helps them gain higher portfolio, higher momentum over time, right? And then get into stocks and then get into mutual funds, right? Obviously, allocation matters a lot. We believe that 4 to 6% of investments only should go to crypto, not your entire investments, because ultimately it is a risky asset class. Then you can explore stocks, look at the key trends, key markets which are doing well, look at analyst rating, look at recommendations, and see what could make sense for your portfolio and do regular SIPs, right? I think that has been the basis of how I invest. And at the top of it, I would have very clear idea that okay, if I have 100 rupees to invest, how much risk in my assets or in my portfolio I can afford and allocate accordingly. I would always allocate 60, to mutual funds, maybe, 20, 30 to stocks, and, about 5, 6 to crypto, and about 4 to cash. That is always needed in terms of emergency. You should always have emergency cash because, you don't know what can happen while your insurances are there, but you should definitely have some cash in hand to make sure that you don't get caught off guard in terms of any medical or any kind of emergency, right? So that's have been my motto: 60% mutual fund, 20 to 30% stocks, 5 to 6% crypto, and 4% in cash.
Got it. So do you also believe in goal planning? Like a lot of financial planners talk about it, ki you should have your goals defined. So had you also during this journey defined certain set of goals कि these are the things कि मुझे अभी चाहिए तो इसके according I'll keep on investing?
So goals are important, but they become harder to track
Right.
over time, right? You can say that, oh, I want to save it for a bike and for the next 1 year, but you don't know how the markets would behave for 1 year, right? For short-term goals, it becomes very, very hard to plan the right allocation because you don't know how the market's going to move in 1 year. So if you have very immediate goal, I think you should take lesser risk on your portfolio, go to mutual funds, maybe liquid or debt or arbitrage funds, and park your money there, where growing is not the key
Right.
aspect that you're looking for, but protection and at least beating inflation is what you are looking for. And you are sure know that this is my short term goal. As long as save enough, I'll be able to reach that goal. If you're looking for a little longer horizon, then the portfolio aspects come into play, because in the long run every markets equate. There would be bad cycles, there would be good cycles, so it will always equate into your portfolio. So short-term goals, I've always believed, work better when you take lesser risk
Right.
in your portfolio. For longer-term goals, you can create alpha by taking slightly higher risk and allocating your portfolio better across different
Got it.
asset
Got it.
classes.
Very rightly said, sir. Because if goal is short term, then you need कि at least predictability हो कि
Yes.
वो पैसे आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे. I'll move to the next question, sir. A
Yeah.
lot of retail investors lose money in the market because they generally indulge in say जो टिप मिल गई जैसे आपने बताया था initially. So how can one avoid
Yes.
this kind of trap and be diligent about
Sure.
their investments if they are into trading?
I think first thing first is, if it's too good to be true, double check, always double check, right? Uh, there is nothing called free money in this market. So how I think, right?
Hmm.
Very basic. If somebody is telling me something, I'm saying, if somebody's saying, oh, you'll get 50% return per year, then I will say that, oh, there are so many billionaires in this country. If this is so well known, they could just keep on, doubling their money every
Right.
other year, right? Why is it so hidden? Why is it, why just this person knows? So always look at doubt when it feels like it's too good to be true, right? And that's how you avoid scams. And again, do your
Mhm.
research. Understand the mechanics behind it. Say if somebody is coming up with say 50% returns, you look at how do you generate that. Does it make sense? Is it scalable? Right? What are the risk involved in it? Ultimately, every high risk, high return come with a high risk
Right.
as well, right? And then you should be sure that okay, even if you want to take a bet there, what percentage of your portfolio you can take, afford that risk. Obviously, there is a reward associated with it, but you should also consider risk while allocating your portfolio. It's not that, oh, somebody is giving 50% return, I'll put all the money that I have into that scheme, right? Because there is risk involved as well. So, how do you allocate the right balance between risk and reward is the key aspect that any user need to maintain. And if it's too good to be true, most likely it's a scam, right? So, that's the rule
Yeah,
that I
very
follow.
rightly said, sir. It reminds me of Hera Fairy movie where Akshay Kumar says 21 दिन में पैसे double and
That's it.
people get trapped here. I'll move to the next
Yeah.
section, which is around work-life balance. So there have been a lot of questions around 70-hour week, 90-hour week. What's your take on it, and where do you see people should draw the line between their, say, personal life and professional life?
Yeah. So I don't know if my answer would be as controversial as we are seeing out there. I'll tell you how I approached my
Right,
career, right? When I was young, just getting out of college, getting into Amazon, I was surrounded by very, very smart people, right? Most of the people that I would meet there would be smarter than me, right? The only way for me to stand out, to do better, was to work incredibly hard, right? Not look at the numbers, but just keep working hard. Because I if you put 10 hours, you can give X output. If you can probably work 15 hours, it might be 1.5x or at least
right,
1.2x the outcome, right? Uh, but as you grow in your career, as you from execution, you start to plan, you start to be a manager, you start to be a leader, the number of hours becomes very
right,
hazy. Even today, some weeks I work probably 100 hours, and some weeks I only work 40 hours, right? Because it varies. How hard I would work does not indicate how fast my
right,
company would move, right? Ultimately, it has to meet the ground reality. We have to get the right quality product to the user. No matter how fast I can think, solve problem, ultimately getting them implemented, getting them out there becomes key feature. So many of times number of hours becomes
right.
irrelevant as you grow in your career, but early I would suggest work as hard if that's your ambition to stand out, and professional life is what you want to prioritize. If somebody wants to prioritize their personal life as well, then you divide your time accordingly, right? So it depends on the ambition and purpose of the person chasing their dream, rather than somebody else or the manager or the leader setting the time limit for them, right? Measuring time has never been my style of working. I always, trusted people to deliver, give them the responsibility. Either they are the types of, putting more hours, or they are the types of putting less hours but more output. output is what matters
Yeah,
to
very
me.
rightly said, sir. I think initially everybody should focus on developing these skills because एक बार वो develop हो जाती है, then execution is something either you can take your own sweet
Yes.
time to execute it, or if you want, you can
Yeah.
slog as well. This brings me to the next question. What are some of the traits that you look at while hiring candidates, and what are some of the qualities that you appreciate in candidates?
I think apart from the usual hardworking, smart, good communicator, I think one thing that I personally look very differently, when we used to go to interviews or we take a lot of interviews, a lot of candidates are very
Right,
well prepared on what is there on their resume, telling, oh, I did X, Y, Z on this company. This was my impact on this company. And I think one question that I love to ask in my interviews and, even talking to people at CoinSwitch and Lemon is talking about their failures, right? That tells self-awareness of a candidate. So self-awareness I rate very, very highly. A lot of people can talk about successes because that's what they're trained to
right,
do. But a lot of our success comes from our failures or our attempts into achieving that success. And if somebody can talk openly about their failures, then that person is not insecure. That person is honest, transparent, and actually shows their learning capability, shows that how iteratively, because nobody's so smart that in their first try they'll solve every
right,
single problem, but it also shows how iteratively they can get to a solution in spite of failing hundreds of times, right? And that's one thing that I look towards hiring. Second thing that I look for is their passion towards the industry that
right,
they're trying to join. If they're, say, trying to join CoinSwitch or Lemon, I would want to know why they want to, join us. What is there, is there any purpose, larger purpose that maybe they're struggling with their own finances and they feel like, okay, by joining Lemon and CoinSwitch, I'll be able to figure out how to invest better because this has been the problem
right,
all throughout. And if I'm able to learn myself, I'll be able to teach others as well. I think that's a good motive and it'll ensure that they'll go above and beyond in understanding the industry and solving for the users. So that is another key trait that I look for, that any industry that you're going to, are you passionate about it? And what drives your passion? Is it a personal thing? Is it, you see that your industry growing and you want to be part of it? How your passion is linked to the industry that you're
got it.
trying to
So
join.
there are a lot of freshers also. So one question that comes in their mind is, does our
Hmm.
college brand also matters? Like coming from IIT, IIM, does it matter to you during
Hmm.
the hiring phase, or is it the experience that plays the bigger role? Yeah,
Sure. So the answer would be the political answer would be that no, it does not matter, right? And when we hire, we don't care which college you come from. But as an individual, I would say it matters
right,
a little. Ultimately, if you are coming from good college, it's not that that college has taught you something which that's why you have become
right,
exceptional. I believe that college matters because it's hard to get into those college.
right,
Now, who would get into those college? Who would have, you be competitive in your exams and showcased that you are above and beyond a certain
right,
point, and also competition within the college would have made you slightly better and slightly more learned than the others. It's not to say that in any other college you will not. Maybe there also it depends on the individual to be able to learn faster, better, and might have done actually more than any IITN or NSITN out there. But it's about the chances, right? As a recruiter, if somebody goes out, gets about, say, 100 resumes, how in a short time they would be able to filter is through that. So that would always remain. So no matter, how many people will say it will not matter, it matters in the first part of getting
right,
shortlisted. It does matter a bit because ultimately, as an interviewer, you will not have infinite time to give equal attention to every single person who is applying to the job, right? You would have limited time. So you would say in that limited time, who is the best person who can clear the interviews or would be fit, right? So that's where it matters a bit. I would not say, and there are ways to, cut it out, right? If you understand the profile that you're applying to. So your email to the recruiter
right,
matters a lot, right? Maybe you're not from IITs, maybe you are from, any other college out there, but showcase why you are the
right,
right person for it. That one single email could be the most important email to get your shortlist at the top, in spite of coming from any college out there, right? So there are other things that you can do to overcome this, it's not kind of a mandatory that you come from good colleges, but I'm telling you the reality on how the shortlist, how can you make part of
Got
the
it. And you
shortlist.
also talked initially, sir, about taking part in lot of hackathons. So I think if somebody is indulging in
Yes,
that,
yes,
then they also are making sure that at least their profile is standing out in
yes,
front of recruiters.
yes. So it's
Right,
about learning, right? So people see that how do you learn more, or am I hiring a candidate who is better than the others in terms of learnability, in terms of already the learning that
right,
he has, right? So extracurriculars do matter. Colleges play a part because they're already competitive. A person who would have done A, B, C to be able to get there, so that gives them one tick mark. But maybe other, extracurriculars, that have you, participated in hackathons? Have you built independent projects? Have you launched independent projects? That give you an extra marks to get on top of the list, right? So that's what I'm trying to say, that college is
right,
just one part of the equation, but there are a lot of other factors which you can work upon, which are in your control, because sometimes colleges are not in your control. Sometimes just a
right.
bad exam would put your rank lower, right? I've seen my friends who were much smarter than I was, but getting much lower rank
It's
because
not,
they just
it's not your
missed
day.
couple of questions. It was just not their day, right? So colleges does not, and today they're doing even better than me, right? So it shows. So over time, success is not just one exam, two exams. Over time, if you are smart, putting consistent effort into your learnings, and making sure that you're putting incredible hard work, smart work, and a lot of dedication into what you're trying to do, you will reach where you want to. So, couple of hiccups does not matter
Yes,
at all
definitely
in your
learning
career.
compounds because I have seen ki I have done my MBA, but friends who have not done their MBA, they are also at similar package as me only. So
Yes,
everything becomes
yes,
stable after 10, 12 years. This brings me to last set
yes.
of questions that I have. How was your first interview experience? Which company you interviewed for and how you prepared for the same?
So I think it was a long time ago. I think I interviewed for Microsoft, was my
Oh, nice.
first interview. It came for
Right.
internship in college. I was good in tech, so somehow I got through. I still don't know how I got through those interviews, but I always been a quick at coding and solving problems, and that has been something that I have probably stood out at that point. But now I think if somebody is looking for cracking interviews now, or getting to their first job, I think first key thing is, what do you know? How much do you know it? What are the things and skills you bring to
Right.
the table? That will help you get shortlisted. That will help you answer things much better, because you will understand the depth of
Right.
it. In our college life, we used to go to Geeks for Geeks and do all the questions out there. Probably now it doesn't help that much. Having practical understanding, actually participating in hackathons, coding competitions, really builds up your profile, confidence, and ability to solve problems, which you usually get on interview. So I think my advice would be simple: don't take too much pressure, don't over
Right.
prepare, work on understanding rather than just remembering that, oh, these are the five formulas I need to, or these are the five steps that I need to remember. Learn the reason behind it, and I think as and when you keep on learning, you will be, these
Easy.
interviews will become easier and easier. And every interview you learn from and do better the next time.
Yeah, right. It rightly said, sir. Because skills is something that people generally don't focus on. They go from interviews to interviews rather not focusing on skills. This is the last question that I have. If you have to give some advice to your younger
Okay.
self, what that advice would be? Mhm.
I think my advice would be uh, to not consider every milestone as do or
Right,
die, right? I'll give you an example that, when I was in college, the aim was to get the highest package, go to the best company, be the first one to get promoted. Like over time, these things
right,
equate, right? And your learnings is what makes you who you are, rather than these milestones. Nobody would remember after 5 years whether you got promoted in 1 year, 2 year,
right,
3 year. It will not matter. Ultimately, uh, what you have learned, how you are able to deliver, and what your passion is, would define what you end up doing, how successful you become, and what you achieve out of life, right? So Don't be so short term focused. Have a short term goal, definitely, that drives you. So getting a promotion or asking for a promotion is never a bad thing, because that drives you towards your short term goal. But also understands that getting that goal, there are a lot of external factors out there which is impacting whether you get to that
Right.
goal or not. So don't get disappointed so easily. If you don't get into the company that you wanted to, it's okay. There are enough number of years chances that you can get even better company out there, or the promotion that you're looking for. Maybe you don't get it this year, but next year you'll probably get a double promotion, right? So their life makes up for it. What is in your control is to work hard, to be passionate about what you are doing, find that passion and just go after it, right? And don't get disheartened if you fail a few
Yeah.
times in
Might be
between.
that you'll end up like Ashish sir and build two big startups in India. So consistency will definitely compound. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time. It was really great interacting with you.